if none of the stuff that we've shown you in this last video ships, I would delete the YouTube channel. Like that's how
not a fan
that's
of
how
that one.
certain I am of the legitimacy of the information.
Welcome to Recycle Bin,
There's no
episode
way
27.
You didn't even say
The 27th episode
What
of
the hell?
the best podcast in the universe, run by
for audio.
the lovely boys,
for audio,
John and Brian from Front Page Tech,
For audio-
Jern and Bern.
Okay.
What were you gonna say?
For audio listeners, I wasn't even sitting. I was not at the table. He just
Oh.
started. What the hell is this?
Oh, nothing. I'm just making sure we don't have a sponsor.
Jesus Christ. I guess welcome to the show.
Yeah. Today on Recycle Bin, we talk a lot about iOS 19.
You're sitting so far up on the table.
New leaks, new video, new lots of stuff.
You're sitting very far up.
Jern freaks out about iOS 18 and, shocking no one, space stuff. We talk more wrestling. WrestleMania is getting closer.
Why does this feel so... Why have you done this to me?
And Bern takes a day off.
How are you going to take... What do you mean you take a day off?
I just don't have any notes.
So
And the voicemails from you,
yay.
the listener and
Did
the
you
viewer.
know that you could call and leave a voicemail to be on the show? I feel like we did not say that last week.
We did a really bad job. 404-919-5530. That is the number to call. Leave your voicemails. Trying to shoot between 30 seconds to a minute if you could do your best.
No, don't do it a minute.
30 seconds to a minute. I'm like within that
But
window.
But a minute... If you told me I have a minute, I'm going to use up all the seconds and take up a minute. And a minute is long.
30 seconds to 50 seconds.
30
Keep it
seconds.
there. And hey, you can if you mess up a voicemail, feel free to send another one. There's been so many people who leave a voicemail and they get kind of meandering.
Okay.
And then they go, hang on. And then they call back and leave another one that's much more concise. Write yourself some notes if you need to. It's okay.
Bern will edit all of them. Just if you mess up, just keep going and we'll make him edit them.
I won't.
Okay. Well,
how are you?
fine, I guess. I mean, actually, you know what? No, I'm not. I'm not fine.
No.
I'm not. How many drinks do you have?
I have a half a one and a whole one.
I am not fine. Today is Sunday.
Yes.
This is going out tomorrow,
Yeah.
Monday, but also going out tomorrow, Monday, is our iOS 19 video. Big drop.
It's really big.
Maybe biggest. In the video, I say it, but I'm pretty certain biggest iOS leak ever to occur.
A good way to gauge it, for anybody wondering, our most recent one we uploaded was 6 minutes. Mm-hmm. This is 11 minutes long.
It is.
Okay? So, and we're not showing you the same stuff, arguably. So, you know what I mean? There's some preamble, but it's new stuff.
Well, it's fun because I guess we're just doing that now. We're just talking about it.
Yeah, let's go right into it.
Okay.
Business first.
And then we'll have the party in the back.
Mullet. We're a mullet podcast.
Okay, so, by the way, if I sound a little funny, I'm sick, I think. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what I am. I feel literally fine. I feel fine.
We'll see.
Oh, I put in my notes to stop looking at the monitor because I keep looking at the monitor. I don't want to do that.
No?
If I look at the monitor, will you slap me in the face?
I won't.
Okay.
No.
So I feel completely fine, but I know I don't sound fine. I just if you can't listen to a grown man sound like this, you can quit watching, but don't. Just pretend.
You really gave him all the options there.
These people act like they don't go to work with a cold.
Nobody's saying that.
Okay.
You're just making yourself to be a victim. Can we talk about...
anytime I hear somebody that has a cold or that they sound like this, I judge them.
Oh. So it's you? You're
not
projecting?
in real life, but like if you are making a piece of content and you know you sound like this and you're making me listen to you sound like this, it's terrible. Or like you know what I extra don't like?
Go ahead.
On episodic TV shows where the people will pretend that they don't have a cold, like on The Office, Pam Beasley has a cold so often.
Like the actor?
Yeah. Jenna Fisher.
Yeah.
You can hear, but it's not acknowledged in the show at all. Like if you sound like that while you're at work, people would know that you have a cold. You would say that you have a cold. But instead, she pretends like it's a normal episode of the TV show and pretends like she sounds normal, but she definitely doesn't. Like, Pam, we know you have a cold.
I feel so bad for all the people who watched the first half of the podcast for like the iOS stuff. And this is what we just swerved them so hard.
Oh, this is what happens.
We went, let's talk business. iOS leaks. Here we go.
This is
Did you know
Recycle Bin.
Jenna Fisher has a cold like all the time in the office?
This is Recycle Bin. They come in and then they get stuck. They're like, wow, I just want to hear about iOS 19. And they realize how great the show is.
Yeah.
And they stick around for the rest when it gets a little messy.
We are holding them hostage right now.
Okay. So we put out our iOS 19 video. We had an iOS 19 dump that we were sitting on for like a couple months. We put that out last week?
I don't even remember.
Like, yeah, early last week.
Something like
at this
that.
point, like 10 days ago.
Yeah.
It'll be 2 weeks. 2 weeks when the next video comes out. And after we released the past video, the last iOS 19 video, about an hour after, Mark Gurman came out, which we talked about on the last episode of the podcast.
Quite
Mark
a lot.
Gurman tweeted that it was either fake or outdated, incomplete build with incomplete features.
But not at us. He just happened to say, if you see any leaks,
Yeah.
not front page tag.
Literally no one else leaked it
Yeah.
except for us. And then, he did not name drop us or anything. He just said, hey, the iOS 19 images you see floating around, So, but he didn't tell. He said, incomplete features, expect more from Apple in June, but did not tell anyone what that might be.
No, because naturally expect the whole fucking thing in June, Mark.
But he also didn't say, this is what I know.
Yeah.
This is wrong. Here's
Yeah.
what I know. He
Nope.
just said, bad. Only listen to Mark Gurman.
Yeah.
Well, when he did that, and we talked about it on the last episode of Recycle Bin, but I believe by the time that episode went out, things were already rolling. Because by saying that we had an old incomplete build, it let us know, and collective sources working on the story know that there was newer things to be found.
Yeah.
So
Thanks, Mark.
we got the newer things. Sources reached out and was like, hey, we have the rest of it. It's kind of big. So we all sat down together, started going through material. And complete new video came out of it.
Long
with
one.
the newer iteration of iOS 19, the newest build that you will probably see until WWDC, if I had to guess.
Yeah.
But then again, when we released the last video, I did not know we were going to see a newer build this time. So we might see a newer build. Not sure. So by the time you see this, you will also see that video. If you haven't seen that video yet, you should probably go do that and then come back here, because this is the show after that show.
Yeah, but also you thoughtfully prepared a bit of a slideshow for Recycle Bin viewers. So you want to just...
I don't know if it's much of a slideshow, but like during Recycle Bin, when we're talking about a video we put out, we usually pull it up on the screen.
Yeah.
Except we can't do that now because it's
Fair
not
enough.
out yet.
Yeah.
So, I gave you some stuff you want to pull it up, I suppose.
Yeah, sure. Let's do it. Start talking.
So we'll show the hype package, I suppose, first. Meet iOS 19, I think it's called.
Oh, yeah? Let's see. Where are we at?
Which is
There it
the hype package is the video that we play at the beginning of our videos, like the Apple
This file got
centric,
audio,
like,
son?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been coming up hot for a minute. Everybody know the drop when I'm in it. I drop the top when I'm in it. Everybody know the drop when I'm in it. Yeah, I go so I've been coming up hot for a minute.
iOS 19.
That was cool.
Yay. Okay. Thoughts?
On the song, great
No.
choice.
No, not on this song.
I just have to say before we talk about the actual stuff, like the leaks, I kind of don't even understand how you do it.
Okay.
It's like you have stolen music out of Apple's like future hype packages.
I mean, you know how I do it. I sit there for literal hours.
I know, but I feel like if I was looking, I would never come across these songs. It's incredible. Like each one of these, if you told me, oh yeah, that song's from like a 2013 Apple release,
Oh, yeah.
I'd be like, of course it is.
Yeah,
sounds just
it's
like
just
it.
hours of looking through music. So I feel like, again, I can't tell the future, so I don't actually know, but because this video's not even out yet. But I feel like Mark's probably not going to say anything else ever again, because
Not to us.
I mean, this is a double whammy video. You set us up for some tea, some drama, some content, if you will.
Yeah.
Plus, we have new information about iOS 19. It's a perfect storm for a YouTube video. Mark Gurman, I would just if I were you, I would keep saying things because it's fun and entertaining. But I don't know what you expect to say something like that. To say we have an old incomplete build or that it's fake, and then not expect a response from us. I mean, of course, naturally.
You are the guy who will bet body hair shavings on if you're right or not, and this is just an escalation. You have evolved, is what I'm actually trying to say.
I would bet the whole if none of the stuff that we've shown you in this last video ships, I would delete the YouTube channel. Like that's how
not a fan.
That's
of
how
that one.
certain I am of the legitimacy of the information.
Yeah.
For
again,
a few reasons.
To extend the olive branch just for fun and extra and tea and a lovely chat.
Yes.
If Mark would love to come on Recycle Bin, I would love to have him.
Let's talk, Mark. Yeah. Thoughts on iOS 19?
So far, I see the vision. But for real, I see it. I guess there's not a reason to scrub through the hype package specifically.
Yeah, because we have individual items
so
in the folder.
First of all,
we'll try to explain it for audio listeners.
Let's see. What do you want to show first? You're the guy.
I think the thing that everyone's talking about right away would be the new icons, because I feel like a deeper conversation is necessary for this.
Yeah.
Okay, so for audio listeners, if somehow you didn't see our video and you're not watching this one, by the way, recyclebinpodcast.com will take you to the video version of this show. You can see us and everything we're showing on screen.
How does this app work? I'm trying to pan. Okay.
Okay, so when we first released our iOS 19, like the initial first batch of leaks, we showed very minimal changes kind of across the board, but especially on the home screen. The icons in that initial batch and the initial drop from 10 days ago, they were still the same shape they are now.
Yeah.
And that is what we saw, which is what we told you. Like, we can only show you what we saw, and what we saw were normal, usual style icons.
Yeah. What we've had forever.
Well, the thing that stirred this next batch into happening was we had a newer build, but we discovered something on accident in the newer build, which was on the surface, all the icons looked the same. And I think what also helps, just from like a behind the scenes perspective, this build that we saw entirely in light mode.
Yeah.
And the past one we saw in dark mode. And light mode really helps elevate some of the changes, I think.
Shows the details better, yeah.
The icons looked completely normal, looked absolutely the same. And I think that was by design. Same as like for our iPhone 4 documentary, when we're retelling that story, we mentioned that when the iPhone 4 was being tested and being carried around like the prototype, it was inside of a case that concealed it, and the case looked like an iPhone 3GS.
Yeah, you gave me a lovely little video to show.
Yeah.
What we're talking about here in a second.
So similarly, the home screen was concealed behind the regular icon. So I'm guessing if an engineer or whoever has this in their possession, if they were looking at it out in public and you were to look over their shoulder, literally nothing looks out of the ordinary.
Yeah.
That is, until you tap on the icon, which we have a visual example of, obviously, boop, it changes subtly. So what we saw were icons behind the icons they were hidden behind an animation, and those icons are new. They have about a corner radius of 30, for any designers out there wondering, which matches the corner radius of the other elements in the build. So like the notifications that pop up, the dock, for example, is a corner radius of 30 on the home screen. So there's a couple things I would like to say about this now that we have more time.
Yeah.
So for audio listeners, it's not a perfect circle, but it's not a square.
Yeah, it's
like 90% a circle.
It looks very, it looks very Samsung-y to me. Like, that's where my brain goes, is like this weird in-between between round and square.
Yeah.
But it's deeper. Like you said, the corner radius is like, it's very blobby.
Yeah. Blobby's a good way to put it. There's new animations across the board. Everything sort of looks... Some of the stuff we had a hard time trying to recreate because it's hard. But a lot of the animations are sort of gelatinous almost. It looks like it took inspiration from the Dynamic Island, the way things like sort of bounce. A lot of those animations on the home screen, but across the whole OS as well. There's a couple things. One, when it comes to iOS 19 or any discussions about iOS getting a Vision OS overhaul, redesign, every concept, every example shows round icons.
Yeah.
Because in Vision OS, the icons are round.
Perfectly round.
They're perfectly round in Vision OS because you navigate with your eyes, and your eyes are round. That's why that exists that way.
Yeah. It makes sense.
So it is a fair assumption to think that, okay, Vision OS overhaul for iOS, round icons. So every concept, every discussion about iOS 19 looking like Vision OS, the thought is that the icons will look round in the final version.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot debunk that.
Yeah.
Because they may be round in the final version, but again, all we can do is show you what we saw. I wish we could be the people that are like, "Yep, there you go, round icons."
Yeah.
There are a couple situations here. The first situation is that what you see is what you get. That's actually it. That's the new icon design. And can you pull up the entire home screen again?
Yeah.
When you see the entire home screen static with those new icons, I don't think it looks bad. I think it
looks great.
I think at first it looks weird and jarring, but I don't think it looks bad. The second situation is that what we saw, the way we saw it, is a glitch or an unfinished something, and that the icons will be round because behind that animation, once you tap the icon itself doesn't change. You know how like with iOS 7, the icons got an entire facelift, like each icon got redesigned?
Yeah.
For this, we didn't see redesigned icons. We just saw a different shape. So I'm sure that with teams that are working on iOS, the different elements are split off and forked into different teams. And then it all comes together at the end. And I'm assuming that's because, or so that a complete build isn't in someone's possession at one time.
Yeah.
So I'm sure icons are like, that's some other team, some other department. So I think those will be altered. The icons will get a visual overhaul, but as far as the shape, this is what we saw. So I feel like I've been in a vacuum. I've been in a bubble.
Yeah.
What do you think the final version shifts like this, or do you think they're round? Because you, unlike the public, obviously, you've seen the real material.
Yeah. It makes sense to have them this blobular square hybrid shape. I think it would be a terrible idea to ship perfectly round circular icons. It would be
a terrible idea.
I don't think that makes sense on iPhone. I think that's too big a departure from what people are used to.
Okay.
And nothing about could you imagine seriously the home screen with all round icons? Like actually,
that's all I've been imagining.
I don't think it looks good. I don't think it's a good design language decision.
Oh, I just stepped on
your headphone cord.
Yeah. The only thing is
I'll be disappointed if they're perfectly round. I think this shape adds a dynamicism to the whole home screen. We haven't mentioned this yet, or rather you haven't, but there is a shimmer around the icons that's Vision OS.
Yeah.
And that also gives the whole home screen a dynamic feel. It's not, we don't know if it's permanent.
Yeah. Well, I'm trying to explain for audio listeners. In Vision OS, it's reflecting real light from your environment.
Yeah.
And that helps sell the glassy effect of the OS. For this, it's not reflecting anything. It's all, just using the gyroscope in the phone to make stuff up. But
like the wallpaper parallax effect.
Yeah. In iOS 7, there was a parallax effect that was introduced
to add depth.
And this is, I guess, a similar thing where it's very prominent on. Yeah, can we pull it up on the?
Yep.
You know what I'm talking about.
On
the lock screen, on the flashlight and camera icons, it's very noticeable
Yeah, hopefully video
It
watchers can see
shimmers. So there's like a glassy outline to the icon, and as your device moves, it shimmers. We're not sure how much that is throughout the OS. To me, if every element did that, every icon did that, I feel like that's really intensive, battery-wise, and
Probably.
it just feels like they're trying too hard. I'm not sure. But yeah, for some of the elements we saw, there's a shimmer around them, which is a cool little...
Yeah, it's a nice touch.
Yeah, of course. Of course, they thought to do that and wanted to do that.
I think if they end up pulling the trigger on the blobby icons, then there should be some shimmer. I don't know how you could, but that trick, even though it is just a computational trick, it adds depth. And I think that if we're going Vision OS, that entire operating system is about depth and like a sort of trickle of realism, or not trickle with Vision OS, but the realism entering the device space. So I feel like this is just a further edition of that.
Changing icons is such a giant move too, because it's like, this is iOS 19, iOS 18, the icons are going to stay the same, right? So like when developers are designing for their apps, are they having to design two different icons, or is it going to be automatic where Apple just shaves off the corners for anything iOS 19 related? Like that's what it looked like was happening here. After you press the icon, it looked like the system is just like the actual icon file doesn't change. The system is just getting rid of the edges, like an Uncrustable.
Yeah, it's very Uncrustable core.
Yeah, I think it's new enough. Like now that I've had some more time, I think it looks good-ish.
I like it. Like I think it's different enough and new enough, but also the same enough.
Also, the way we saw it, there was no text. I don't know why we did this way, but there was no text under the icons. It was, like now you can choose between small and large icons. They were all set to large. So it was just, they look slightly better, a little bigger. Okay, so that's icons, home screen. That's what we know. That's all we can show you. You're going to have to be your own judge there.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised either way, honestly. I wouldn't be surprised if they ship like that or if they ship round. Okay, let's talk about Tab View, because Tab View internally, you're going to be hearing this now mentioned with iOS 19 because we're bringing it up, but Tab View is not new. If you open up an app right now, like a native app, like the music app or the App Store, on the bottom, there are tabs there to navigate around the app. They're split into sections. That is, for developers, that's called Tab View. So we're assuming this is just a new, updated version of Tab View, which is like a dock at the bottom of all the apps. The animations are so satisfying.
They're smooth and bouncy and very intentionally Apple-y.
Yeah, and it's hard for us to demonstrate here, like in our mock-up, but in the actual version, it looks like glass. Like the corners of it looks a lot like glass.
There's great diffusion of like the background, and it looks...
And can you go backwards again?
Yeah.
And just keep it paused?
Like over here?
Yeah. So when you tap on the search tab, you get a little, it collapses. Tab View will collapse. And it's like this way in the App Store also. Tab View collapses.
Yeah.
And then you have a little icon that's showing you tabs on the left side, and a search field will open up. It's that way in the App Store too, and I would assume everywhere that Tab View is. It's just very dynamic and animated. The default view is Tab View, so what you see now, which for audio listeners is just, it says home. We're in the music app. Home, radio, library, search. Library is highlighted because that's the section you're in. It's the same way with the App Store. I other than the animations, and then you can see it's subtle, but you can see there's a blur, glassy look at the bottom of the display too. That helps separate Tab View a little bit from the actual content on the screen.
I'm gonna watch it again.
Yeah,
just for me.
It's subtle. It's it is definitely not the same. It's definitely a redesign. It's definitely remade. It's a new thing, but I can't say, because Mark Gurman has said that it's different enough to where there will be a learning curve, and I just don't from what we're seeing, I don't see that. Like,
Yeah.
yes, it's different. Yes, it looks different, but nothing is like foreign.
I think if you look at this from an everyman perspective, if you shift, like even if you shift the age range of who you're talking about, if you're shifting it from young people, like teens into like late 20s, early 30s, and even if you shift it up a few years, I think there could be a learning curve. Just everybody's so used to basic iPhone layout science at this point. Like, it's different enough. I mean, even the act of technically hiding future menus or tabs in a sub menu of sorts, like the way this is set up here.
Yeah, but that's not the default view.
Yeah. No, I see what you're saying.
It only collapses when you hit the search button. So it just all it did was make room for the search button, and the animation shows you where it all went. Like, you know, it's not hidden.
Yeah, I think it's an optimist and a pessimist view. You know, like, I think Mark's just assuming people are idiots, which is fair. You know.
Yeah,
and we're giving people a lot of credit.
There's a lot of like settings in hamburger menus, like on the home screen when you press and the icons go into jiggle mode to like edit and customize the home screen. Those are now in like little hamburger menus on the top left and right. But there's nothing.
There's also a chance that we are seeing, like you just said about the icons, there could be a lot more under the hood that is fragmented between teams that could result in like going from minor feature changes, glow ups into overhaul territory if we get far enough into changes that maybe we haven't seen yet.
Okay, let's go back to our folder of stuff. Is there anything else that needs to be?
The big one, in my opinion, is the messages changes.
Oh yeah, so search field and messages is now. So we showed you the new iMessage in the video from 10 days ago. So our first drop of iOS 19 stuff, other than the camera app, because we showed you the camera app like a couple months ago.
Yeah.
The search field and the messages between the old build that we saw and the new one is moved down. That's the only change. So when you're looking at your threads of conversations, there will be a search field at the bottom of the display. You hit the search field, keyboard pops up, lets you do the normal things like search through conversations, search through collaboration, file-related stuff, lets you search through photos and videos, shared stuff that you've sent through threads and messages and group chats. Works completely the same, it's just like slightly moved, and the animations are nice and lovely. Other than that,
here's another example of the
tab view in the App Store.
Yeah.
Looks,
very simple.
Yeah.
It's just floating now.
Yeah,
like really, that's the biggest difference.
To me, this really is just a visual overhaul of stuff. I'm not seeing anything crazy. Did I put dual recording in there?
You did.
Okay, so there is one new feature that we were allowed to show you this time around, which we hinted. If you watch Recycle Bin, we hinted at this,
and I didn't
a month
get
ago.
It at all.
Yeah. First introduced on the Galaxy S4 in 2013.
Good job, Apple. We're catching up, baby. 12 years later.
Exclusive to the Pro models, that's iPhone 17 Pro and Pro Max. You will be able to dual record, so front-facing camera, rear-facing camera at the same time. Obviously, we simulated it here because we don't actually have the feature or an iPhone 17 Pro Max that you know of, and so we had to we had to simulate it. But yeah, being able to record photo and video at the same time will exist. Will you use that
for fun, for like memes? Like maybe I'll get weird at like late at night and want to send you something funny and stupid.
Yeah,
and I'll record something dual camera setup. I'm not using this.
I'm not quite sure how it works. I would assume because it's Apple and it's 2025 that it will be simultaneously recording both of those at full res, so that maybe in like when you're editing the video,
you could maybe like
in the Photos app or something. Yeah, you can switch between.
That'd be smart.
It just like what I'm hoping it doesn't do is is record a video and then have a little like pip baked into that video file. I want you to be able to choose between them and switch between them. And
usually the way that Apple, in my opinion, rolls out camera features and like ways to shoot video and take photos and things like that is it's like front end is super user friendly, and then they give you like sort of like pro tools on the back end when you're editing things or trimming.
Yeah.
That are way more advanced than normal people would think to mess with. So I'm hoping that's the case. Like it's very grab and go, shoot and forget for normal people, and then if you want to get fancy, you can do lots of fun edits.
Yeah,
I would think.
Well, it's like the audio mix stuff. Like
exactly.
You can edit and after the fact and go through audio mix, change audio mix stuff. Also with like slow-mo video, ever since that's been introduced, you can record it one way and it automatically tries to determine where the slow-mo happens, and you can just be happy with that. Or you can edit it and change where the slow-mo happens, speed stuff up, slow it down.
Portrait mode's a great example where you can...
Yeah. So I would expect that this is another one of those things where it's after the fact you can change stuff. Of course, if we see anything else iOS 19 related, we will show it to you.
Oh, yeah.
Until then, though, I would just assume this is the newest build that you are going to see until WWDC. And the version of this that we just saw does feel a lot more final, a lot more polished than that first one. Tab view, all that stuff like existed that we showed you before that was in dark mode. It has just been slightly adjusted. Like tab view in the video that we put out 10 days ago was there and looked like that. It was smaller though.
Yeah.
So things look a lot more intentional now, and hopefully things aren't buggy when it comes out, because that's the only thing that worries me about visual overhauls is that, I mean, they're not building everything from the ground up, but iOS 18 is filled with bugs. There was no visual overhaul. So to be struggling getting Apple Intelligence features out and changing the design of the software, it just feels like it's a breeding ground for buggies.
I'm hoping the difference between iOS 18 and 19 comes down to what is being overhauled, because things like the new tab view, it's the same. The way my brain interprets this is it's the same categories, the same information. It's just being presented differently. You know, it's just a visual swap, animation swap, you know, technically.
Yeah.
Whereas with iOS 18, we got a lot of system-wide sort of integrations and changes, like the AI stuff, if you can call it that.
Yeah.
Image playground, stupid shit like that. And even like camera control, like that's like deeply integrated into like systems. Whereas so much of this is just, look, new icons. Or look, new animations. It's just swapping files, it feels like, hopefully.
Control Center, which we showed in the video package, very subtle. It's just the volume slider, the brightness slider, and the focus mode button are rounded now.
And dude,
and glassier.
And this is the type of stuff that, like, in my opinion, if it doesn't come out, it doesn't. Who cares?
Yeah,
like that is so minor and strange. It makes me feel like down the pipeline, an intern had the idea of like, well, maybe we could make that change and make that look new. And someone goes, sure, and they just cut off some corner radius.
The Settings app, which we don't, I don't know why it's not included in this folder that we put together for Recycle Bin. Settings app looks kind of the same. Things are a little taller, and the toggles, like the on switches. And off toggle switch, the flips from gray to green, is longer.
Yeah, looks less Apple-y, honestly.
Yeah, it's strange. I don't know how these decisions were made, because like tab view, the dock for tab view is like very rounded. The edges are rounded. You would fit a perfect circle on the edge of those. But the icons are not a perfect circle.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, this is what we've seen, and none of it is final.
Yeah.
Like, that needs to be massive disclaimer across all of this. Like, iOS 19 could come out, they'd be like, never mind. No visual overhaul. It's just same stuff.
No, we are at this point. We're too far in the game for that to happen. It will look
Yeah.
like this. We'll just have it'll obviously and hopefully be a lot more polished. Because even in the stuff that we saw, though it looks good and the animations are smooth and clean, there was a lot of bugs that still exist. So hopefully it doesn't ship that way.
I mean,
we don't have that much longer to wait. June is coming up.
it is.
I bet by June, because everything's pre-recorded and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
There's no hands-on with media. They're not on stage showing live demos. I bet by June they're still far away from being finished and cleaned up, and they're just doing the same thing we're doing, or we're just like making mock-ups of it working because it doesn't actually work yet.
Oh God, that's scary. That's like first iPhone show-off territory where they just hoped and prayed for it to work.
Well, at least with this, they can just use After Effects and fake it.
Yeah.
All right, so iOS 19 stuff there, yay!
Complete.
Biggest iOS leak ever, and that's just because iOS never leaks.
Mm-hmm.
So there you go.
Hope you like it.
Now.
Wow.
Should we talk about space?
We can. Your notes. Let's go down some of your notes because, like I said, I don't have any today. We have, hey pal, stop looking at the fucking monitor.
Yeah, that's a note to me.
Leaks are getting more intense.
We did
covered that.
Yep.
Good job. Next up on the notes, dear God, VD Higgs.
Okay.
Then we have Egypt, the pyramids. The Romans, 1700.
Dude, there's so much to talk about.
These have been, all of this from VD Higgs is capitalized all the way down. Mm-hmm. Then I keep fucking searching with Spotlight and it just does nothing. Fucking this fucking phone. Holy fuck. God. And then we have meatloaf is a terrible word.
Oh, it is. It just dawned on me, like last night or the night before, what meatloaf means.
It's a loaf of meat.
Yes, that's horrific.
Meatloaf is so good, though.
Well, anytime I have meatloaf, it's already sliced, and so I did not put the pieces together. Mm-hmm. That it is before it's sliced a loaf of meat. That is so beyond fucked up.
Yeah,
that is like a cannibal came up with that word.
I'm probably a meatloaf fan.
No,
I would think.
a loaf of meat is a terrible, terrible, terrible thing.
It's
delicious, but
yeah.
The fact that you would like a loaf of bread, but get rid of the bread, it's meat. Mm-hmm. It's terrifying.
I don't know. You would think this is down my alley of like being weirded out by the quantity thing, the weird shape thing. Sure. I just really like meatloaf. I think
meatloaf is delicious.
All I'm thinking about is how good meatloaf is right now.
But in a lump of meat that's in the shape of a loaf?
Fine with me.
No,
I just want
bro.
it.
No. That's like someone had cheats to the video game, and there was a loaf of bread, and they just changed the substance to meat. In that context, it's horrific.
Weird fun fact that you just triggered in my brain. In the game World of Warcraft, the MMO, it's like there's a lot of monsters and things like that have like decaying parts of their bodies, and like there's like chunks of meat that are like flesh that have been fallen off or whatever, gore type stuff. Not all countries in the world are okay with that. Like specifically in China, all of the gore and like pieces of like monster flesh or whatever that are strewed about certain areas, like dungeons, are replaced with bread.
What?
Yeah, like loaves of bread.
Bread?
Yeah. Like,
are they happier in China?
I mean, dude, I don't know. That's too big of a question for me.
Well, sometimes we look at how we live on the West and we assume that it's the best. But they're probably happier in China, and it's probably because it's just bread laying around.
I mean,
they're protected.
Yeah, that could be it. I think that's a lot of good argument there. I think you should probably bring that up with somebody of import.
Okay, I will. Xi Jinping, I will bring up with him.
Did you say that name right?
Xi Jinping?
I don't know who you're referencing.
The guy? The Winnie the Pooh guy.
You want to move on? Let's move on.
The prime minister, the president, the dictator. Who is he?
What's up with VD Higgs?
Okay, so we're at the point. Okay, I feel like people don't like when I talk about space, but you can't escape space.
You're right. Let me just because
space is a part of your life.
I just remembered something. 404-919-5530. Tell us all about how much you hate John talking about space or love it. Either way.
Well, there was a few episodes where we talked about space, and people were like, "If you talk about space in this episode, I'm going to leave." But listen, I feel like we just had a conversation not that long ago on this show about how much we don't know, and that we could discover something tomorrow that rejiggers everything we thought we knew. That happened this week.
Oh, cool. What are we talking about?
Okay. We have new DESI data, which is a satellite. Well, okay. It's it is a machine that we have.
Okay.
That collects a lot of the data that we have about space. Okay, it sits there, and that's how we have like our map of the observable universe.
Okay, I tried to Google that, and all the words that came up didn't make sense to me.
Okay, so it's.
This is why this is my day off, by the way.
Why? Because I have so many notes?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's sitting there, it's collecting all this data, and that it's been doing that for a long, long time. And we can see so much. Okay? If you look up a map of the observable universe, you can see back in time.
Okay.
It's insane. This is how we know about the Big Bang. It's how we know that the universe is 13-point-something billion years old, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So if you... The only issue is the observable universe, could there technically be something outside of what we see?
Mm-hmm.
Very, very good chance that there is stuff.
Sure.
But we cannot see it because light can only travel so far for so long, and if there's anything out of what we've seen, we'll never see it.
Oh, I see.
The light is gone.
Even if new light showed up somehow, it wouldn't reach us.
Yeah, well, yeah. Anything from out there. Mm-hmm. But the way we look at it is what we believe we're seeing back in time, because the closer you are to us,
mm-hmm.
you see developed galaxies and developed nebula and stuff like that.
Okay.
The further you go out, the less developed things are, the less detail there is, until you're all the way on the outer edges, and it's just like background radiation, just red-shifted light. The further the light is, the more red it is.
Like trailer parks.
What?
Well, as you get further out of like cities, you go to suburbs, it's nicer. And then you get further out, and it's like farms.
Yeah.
And then at the far reaches of society, trailer parks.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can say that because we lived in one.
Oh, we lived in one for a long time.
Yeah.
Together. So we can see all the way back there, and that is where we see the Big Bang.
Yeah.
That's our evidence of the Big Bang. You can see it. Like, if you look far enough out there, you can see that it happened.
Okay.
You can see just early light that is nothing truly developed. That's just red-shifted light that is background radiation. It was before there were galaxies, before there were stars, all this other stuff, before it had formed.
Yeah.
Now, space is expanding.
It's going away.
It is expanding faster than the speed of light, which is why if there's something outside the observable universe, we would never see it.
Yeah.
Because it has expanded past the speed of light.
Mm-hmm.
And we can't go faster than the speed of light. Okay. So galaxies are not moving away from each other. Like, the galaxies are not hurling, they're not moving through space. The galaxies are, imagine a balloon that's this big. A smaller balloon, and there are things on the balloon.
The galaxies are staying in the same spot, and
it's the spaces in between the galaxies that's expanding.
They're growing wider. Okay.
Yeah. Now,
yeah, good. I like when you use metaphors. That helps me. I think in metaphors.
Okay, good.
Trailer park thing,
yes.
balloon thing. That's
okay,
good. That's
yes.
good.
So the balloon is expanding, and the spaces in between the things is what's growing.
Yeah.
And it keeps on growing, keeps on growing, keeps on growing.
Mm-hmm.
And Einstein predicted, as well as all of our data had suggested after Einstein's prediction, that just will always happen forever.
Yeah.
And that will be a constant thing that occurs.
Okay.
and the end of the universe due to that will be heat death, like the death of heat. Like all the stars will burn out. And everything will freeze. And when the stars burn out, not only will the things freeze, but also everything becomes dark. So the end of the universe is cold and completely dark. All the things still exist, but it's frozen, and there's no light being emitted. Everything has died out.
Okay.
Because everything has gotten so distant that there's nothing to sustain any of that. So that is what we assumed. And there was a joke on the show about how we mentioned the hypothetical Big Crunch.
Oh, yeah.
And that...
Big Crunch, Big Bang. Big Crunch, Big Bang.
Yeah. So Big Bang is when there was nothing. It exploded into everything. Yeah. Just the most dense thing ever explodes, and we have been expanding ever since.
Yeah.
And then you wonder... Why are you yawning? You can't yawn on a podcast.
It's not my fault. I'm doing my best.
Okay. Our new DESI data shows that it has not been constant.
Oh. When it started in like the 80s?
We aren't expanding.
What are we doing?
We are expanding, but it's not speeding up. It's slowing down. That piece of information by itself throws the entire idea of the Big Bang into question. It changes all of it.
Oh, okay.
If it's slowing down, then that, number one, gives credence to the Big Crunch. But that, number two, could tell us that this has been happening forever.
Oh, boy.
The universe isn't 13-point-something billion years old. This universe is.
Okay. Yeah.
That it has Big Bang, Big Crunch, Big Bang, Big Crunch, Big Bang, and it does that for eternity. That's not horrific?
No, I'm sorry. It just got taken out of it because for everyone listening and watching, it's so hard to be on this side of the table, and sometimes I just make eye contact with you, and you are like your eyes are so wide with fear and you're so serious and intense with this.
It's so crazy that we just discovered that, and not enough people will hear about it. Not enough people will know that our idea of the Big Bang has just changed in a week.
Well, I mean, it sounds like we're gonna figure it all out eventually.
Every time we look, the maps of the universe expanding is a big funnel going out. Mm-hmm. Now the map is big funnel going out, but coming back in
like a balloon,
like an animal balloon. Like those long balloons that you twist into little animals.
Oh, well, that's way more fun.
Tubular balloons.
This is why I'm not worried about it.
That is horrifying.
You said you were losing sleep over this.
No, this is not the thing I'm losing sleep over.
Oh, boy. We got more?
Yes. Okay, I'll drop the space stuff after this.
Well,
But I have so many other conspiracies.
Let's switch gears for a second.
We need a new podcast.
No, there's too many. We got Recycle Bin. We got a wrestling podcast.
How can we switch gears if it's space related?
What? There's gears in space?
This is important.
I mean, yeah, but let's talk wrestling for a little bit.
We're all gonna die.
That's a given, though. Everybody already knew that.
No, you don't understand what it means.
So on SmackDown, oh boy.
You're really just gonna go ahead and skip the death part.
No. We're gonna come back to it.
Okay, let me know when we're back.
This is how we gotta give the listeners, we don't want to give them space fatigue.
Okay.
We're gonna come back to it. We're gonna ping pong around like the.
But if we stayed on space, they could just skip the space section and then proceed into the rest. But now,
you know what? Yeah, okay, that's fair. I'm thinking about our lovely timestamp commenter.
Yeah,
I'm thinking about the work
John,
he's gonna have to do.
I think his name is John.
I'm gonna go with you on that one because you were wrong last time.
Oh, okay.
You're right. We'll maintain space course.
This is just after I say this, then I'll be done talking about space. But it is.
Then we gotta talk about Rome. We gotta talk about pyramids.
Yes.
Okay. So
I have been losing sleep over this, unironically.
Okay, the space stuff.
Yes.
Okay. What you got for us?
Okay. We live in a false vacuum. Okay, so
I don't even know how to unpack that.
Okay, I'm gonna. We have hypothesized many times on the show, not just us, but scientists much more than us.
Dude, we're not doing nothing here.
We have mentioned on the show multiple ways that the universe could end. This is by far, to me, the most worrying, terrifying possibility because it could be happening right now, and we would literally never know.
Okay.
The sun is going to expand and heat up and toast us all to death in billions of years before it explodes.
Okay.
We have time before that happens.
Quite a bit.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Meteor or anything coming to hit us, like we would see it. We would have a little bit of a notice.
We could send a crew into space to take care of it.
We could try.
Like that movie.
Yeah, we would have somewhat of a notice.
Mm-hmm. We could shoot a nuke at it.
Big crunch and all that, that's terrifying. But like we're seeing that we're seeing the universe slow down.
Mm-hmm.
Like we're able to see some stuff happening there.
Mm-hmm.
What we can't see could happen at any point. So the way the flow of energy is right now, like we call space a vacuum. It's not.
Is this new information?
Not that I know of.
Oh, so you just didn't know this yet?
No.
Okay.
No. We call space a vacuum, but it is not a true vacuum. A vacuum, if it was that, would indicate we are in its lowest energy state.
Okay.
Okay? Our universe is metastable.
Okay. You want to explain that one?
Okay, can you stand up? Stand up. Stand up and stand on one leg.
Am I bringing my mic with me?
No.
All right, I'm up.
Okay, but have your left shoulder facing me.
What the fuck is this?
Have your left
What, is
shoulder
this
facing
Twister?
me. Have your left shoulder facing me. Okay, you on one foot?
Yeah.
He's stable.
Oh, I see. I fell over.
Okay, so I pushed him. He's stable on one leg. You are technically stable, but if a stronger force were to push you suddenly and very quickly, you're not stable.
We about to get pushed?
No. What? At any point in space-time, since we are not in the lowest energy state, we're like teetering. We're right above the lowest energy state.
Okay.
If an energetic happening occurred such that there was enough energy to push the metastable universe into a stable state.
Okay.
That lower state would be an actual vacuum.
Okay. And that's bad.
So something could happen anywhere in space-time, very far away from us, that could push that to happen. And if just an area of space-time were to fold and collapse into the stable state of being an actual vacuum, its lowest energy state, everything around that point in time, space-time, would collapse around it. And it would happen at the speed of light. It would not stop until the entire universe was at that stable vacuum state. Which is, it would collapse the entire existence of everything.
Oh, we would notice, though, because it'd be speed of light.
Exactly.
Oh.
We would never know it's happening. It could be
See, the eyes again.
It is so...
The panic.
It is so... like, this happening would be...
This is just supplemental. I just want... This is POV, like POV TikTok.
It's very unlikely, right?
Yeah.
And it would happen like once every, I don't know, a trillion years or something. We're still not there. But the fact that it could happen at all is the problem. Because anything could trigger that to happen.
Yeah.
Anything could trigger that to happen. And it would not be our fault. We would be far away. We would have no warning, no notice, nothing. We would just get swallowed. It would collapse. The giant bubble of nothing would start expanding, swallowing everything up into a stable energy state, which would be a complete perfect vacuum until everything ever is gone. Physics would not exist anymore. That's how insane this is. So fuck your Big Bang, Big Crunch, Big Bang, Big Crunch. At least for there's still something. and it is constantly happening and recreating. And it doesn't matter how many times we have Big Banged, Big Crunched, and the universe has started over and over again. If this were to happen, there would be nothing. Actually nothing. There'd be no coming back. That'd be it. Can you imagine nothing existing?
No.
Nothing. And we would never know it's happening. It would just, in a split second, Earth, gone, swallowed up, all of us. The particles that are us, gone. Nothing. There would be evidence of nothing. That's horrific. I have been laying there at night thinking like, okay, but what if like trillions and trillions and trillions of miles that way? Like what the area that I'm looking at, what if it has started over there already? I would never know.
It's coming.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
For there to be nothing? Like, I'm going to die one day anyway. That's going to happen. That doesn't scare me as much as there being nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if I die, okay, things are still going to happen.
Why is
things
that
will still be born
scarier
and created.
than you dying?
Even if there's a big crunch, that's scary, but at least big crunch indicates there will be another big bang and there will be things again.
I see.
But for the end of it all, that doesn't scare you one bit?
If I'm going to be gone anyway, if everyone's going to go poof.
Can you even comprehend nothing?
I think that's kind of the issue with people is we kind of can't do that. Have you ever seen the Langoliers?
No. The what?
There's a TV movie.
What is a Langolier? No one cares.
There's a Stephen King TV movie called The Langoliers.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if this is going to be spooky. I feel like it's going to fuck you up. Anybody who knows what I'm getting at right now understands why I'm showing this to you. Here's the trailer. We can show this. It's a trailer, right?
Yeah, go ahead.
Like it's got ads on it. Hold, please. Where the fuck? There we go.
Should we mute it? What should we do?
Nah.
Just turn it down a lot so we can talk over it.
What's the weather like?
Okay.
Clouds at 20,000 feet from the Great Plains all the way to Boston.
From the best-selling novel by Stephen King.
Yeah.
That is a very bad CG airplane. My goodness.
95.
Where is everybody?
TV movie.
They've all gone.
Or was a miniature. I can't tell.
Is the plane in trouble, mister?
Where is everybody?
What's going on here?
Across the boundaries of time.
What are we
Mayday,
looking?
Mayday, this is American Pride, Flight 29, requesting emergency aid.
It's spooky. It's a spooky movie.
This place is utterly, totally deserted.
Air Force
Deserted.
Control, this is American Pride, Flight 29. Do you
There's an
read me?
airplane empty of people flying into a thing,
Away to another world.
and they land.
No longer in our own time, ladies and gentlemen.
It's really wrong.
She's blind.
What's wrong with Stephen King?
Cocaine.
Something is waiting for you to arrive.
It's coming. Don't you understand?
Something's coming towards us, rather nasty.
They are predatory.
Is she in Twister?
Chew the eyes right out of your head.
They are
These are the Langoliers.
The Langoliers are coming. They're coming for you.
and they are very, very hungry.
They're hungry.
See how the... Oh, wow. The trailer's going to not show it. Okay. What a departure. My bad. Okay, there's these monsters who look like kind of nutsacks with teeth.
Okay.
And they go...
The Langoliers.
And they're these little things that they eat everything. They eat like the fabric of reality.
Oh, yeah. That's what it is.
Yeah, and they're just...
Yeah, they're going to do that to everything.
Yeah, I just figured that would be very pertinent to your situation.
This is the thing. My life is different now. And you like everything. I am not sleeping over this. And you're fine.
What do you want me to do?
You're making jokes about Langoliers. It's not that you need to do anything about it. It's just that now you know. There's not information that has just changed your life just because now you know it and you can't unknow it.
Whenever I found out that one of my... Okay, so this is my favorite horror movie of all time. We have a really weird taste in horror movies, John and I both.
I know what you mean. What you're going to say.
Yeah. we really love, and this sounds like we have really bad taste in horror movies, and I don't think that's true.
It's definitely not true.
It's just it's specific. So we both really love found footage style movies, but it's got to be done like good. Okay.
Yeah, we're not talking about Paranormal Activity. Well,
actually, the first
Paranormal
one,
Activity before Steven Spielberg purchased it was good.
The first one, indie, very good, very good. But my favorite horror movie of all time is called The Last Exorcism. The ending in particular, I'm not trying to spoil it, but it's cinema. It's perfect.
It's cinema.
Yeah. And I was getting the urge to watch that again. This movie came out in 2010, so 15 years ago, by the way. Terrible feeling. You and I watched that like while we were, I think, maybe like right out of high school.
Yeah.
So like it was kind of new at the time, which is fucked up. I was thinking about watching that, and I pulled it up on my streaming service of choice. I think it was on Prime Video, if you're interested. Maybe Tubi, I can't remember. And I start watching it, and I'm like, oh yeah, I love this movie. I can't wait. And then the main character sticks out to me a little bit, and I'm like, who is that? And then I paused it on Prime, and then if you use Prime Video, you know that it has this X-ray thing. It has IMDb built into the app, and it immediately showed me who was in the movie and when it released, all that stuff. The main character of this movie is played by, I hope I say his last name right, Patrick Fabian. That is Howard from Better Call Saul.
Yeah.
One of the best characters in that show.
Howard Hamlin.
I love Howard.
Yep.
And retroactively, it has ruined that movie for me. I can't watch that.
That's what,
I stopped
yeah,
watching
it's basically what learning about us being in a false vacuum has done for me.
That changed my life a lot more than all this space stuff.
I don't know how.
Because I love that movie. I can't watch it now. Because I just see Howard being an exorcist. A bad one.
And he's not even wearing Hemlindigo blue.
There was no Hemlindigo blue. His hair wasn't bleached. Different man.
Yeah.
But what a great actor.
He is great.
So that was... This is why I don't got any notes today. This is what I've been doing.
Watching The Last Exorcism and then getting it ruined almost immediately.
Dude, not to like detract from you freaking out about space and the Romans and Egypt and stuff, but I watched a movie... Because I love indie horror, you know? Within reason. I don't like crazy, like terrible gore for the sake of gore stuff, like Cannibal Holocaust or nothing like that.
Yeah.
But I watched this film called Toad Road.
Okay.
I just had heard good things about it, and it's really low budget and really indie. I was watching it, and because I knew if I'm watching a movie that I'm like, it's just for me and nobody else, I'll start Googling things about it while I'm watching it.
Okay.
Production-related things, or even if I feel like I know how the movie's going to end, I don't care about spoilers. I'm just watching it to enjoy the production of it all. The lead actress died of a drug overdose in like
what
before that movie even came out.
Okay.
So
like Heath Ledger.
I don't think they actually finished all the shots with her in them. Like that's how sudden it was, and that completely recapitulated how I felt about that movie.
Didn't that happen with Carrie Fisher?
Oh yeah,
in the Last Jedi.
I think you're right. Yeah, that stuff is crazy. Could you imagine? Okay, here's a good idea.
They had to kill her in the movie.
Here's a good thought experiment, and also instructions for me. If you die mid FPT, what am I doing?
Like mid recording?
Yeah, am I gonna,
like in the middle of production for?
Would you be mad if I used AI to create you?
Yeah, I want you to post it though. Like especially if I die on camera, post it. Yeah.
Well, how do you think you're going to die on camera? Probably a heart attack.
It would be
at
a
this
heart
point.
attack. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like iOS 19 has a new tab view, and then I remember that we're in a false vacuum, and it's just too much.
You're gonna and if you hit this, it expands, and if you hit this, it contracts, and you go expand, contract, and then you're gone. That's it.
Well, please post it.
Okay. So,
if you die, can I post it? Like if you died right now, can I still post the episode? Or would you want me to like put a black screen like seconds later?
Seconds later,
Bern met his
Bern
demise.
died, and I want you to finish the episode.
Okay, with your corpse?
No.
Like if I just put a black box
Dude,
over.
No, if I die, like black. No, don't censor me. Cut to black for a few seconds, explain what happened,
Okay.
and then come back later that day to finish it.
Okay.
Just
That'd be
without
so
me.
sad.
Put like a little plaque on the seat or something.
Do you want to be cremated or given back to the earth?
Are those the same thing?
No.
Probably.
If you're cremated, your energy just goes into that atmosphere.
I want to be cremated and then put into a bunch of souvenirs and given to people. Like I want you to have something of me.
I'll sell it on the recycle bin.
No, you got to have like I want you to have like a piece. Like I don't know if you can identify the ashes and the bone dust.
Okay.
But I want like specifically a lot of my ass cheek to be for you.
Okay. Wow. Thank you.
Yeah.
If you're cremated, the vapor of you goes up into the air, which will then go out into space, and you'll be out there. But if you are buried, then the energy is given back to the earth through the animals eating you and the
Yeah, but
ground
the
and
thing is, I'm gonna be dead, so I'm going off of what is the funniest to me right now.
Oh, okay.
And the funniest to me right now is to hand out souvenirs of my body, cremated into things like jewelry that you have to wear. That I tell you have to wear.
Did you know we live in the year 1700?
Is that because calendar changes in the Roman Empire?
You know
Julius,
you've heard
the
of
Caesarian.
the Dark Ages.
Mm-hmm.
You know why they're called the Dark Ages?
A lot of shit. We lost a lot of information.
Nothing happened.
Well, yeah, that too, I guess.
Like we were making books and paper and all this shit, and then for just 300 years, we just skipped doing stuff.
Yeah, well, society tends to fuck itself up so much that they restart kinda every once in a while.
Or
Could be coming up.
there is a theory that also this was a bad week for me to learn. I
Was
learned
it?
too much stuff this week.
0 sugar squirt soda, by the way.
That the Romans, because the year 1000 would be more significant, and they wanted to feel like they were the significant civilization. They just from year 700 went, it's 1,000. And then we just kept counting from there.
So we're like 300 off.
Yeah. Could you imagine if it's not 2025 and it's actually 17,025? Because they just said fuck you to future civilizations and just skipped 300 years? I would not be okay. If for some reason, and you would think that it wouldn't really change much, but if for some reason we found definitive proof that it's not 2025 and that it's actually the year 1725, that would fuck me up in ways I wouldn't be able to work anymore. Probably.
That'd be really cool. To just all of a sudden, like a bulletin goes out to everybody's phones and goes, yeah, we're updating your calendars now to what it actually is.
Yeah.
And then it just goes back 300 years. That'd be kind of sweet.
That'd be crazy. Because then what happens when it's the 90s? Do they go, it's 1995 again? Would again be at the end of every year?
I'd love that. That'd be cool. We can take cues from history. Everybody dress up like the last time it happened.
If it's 17,025, we're even further away from the 80s than we wanted to be.
I don't want to go to the 80s.
I would love to have been born in the 80s.
Yeah. I would only have loved, maybe I could, see, this is my nerd coming out. I would have loved to be born, like, so I could be in, like, my late teens, early 20s, right around, like, 95. Because I love the computer games of that era and, like, how gaming developed. Doom and all that stuff, and...
You want everything to be replaced
fascinating.
by bread.
Yeah, sure. You really got me. You really got us off on a weird tangent.
Well, I have one more thing, unless you wanted me to save it before voicemails or...
Oh, no, go ahead, but we're not going to voicemails just yet.
Okay. Well, I have... My last thing to say is regards to Egypt. It's been a bad week for me.
What happened with Egypt?
I was on TikTok, and I keep getting TikToks about the new discovery in Egypt. And I'm pretty sure it was even like briefly discussed on Joe Rogan's podcast. Imagine that.
Yeah.
Did you know that there's a some Raimi guy, doctor or archaeologist or something.
Sam Raimi?
No, not him.
Oh.
Using LiDAR, scanned underneath the pyramids.
Okay.
And what he found were miles and miles and miles of spiral columns going all the way down. All the way down. Like, we already wonder how they fucking built the pyramids.
That sounds like a creepypasta.
Like, that's a big... Have you heard of the Tartarian Empire?
Nope.
Tartarian Empire is a big cover-up, supposedly.
Dude, what are we talking about?
Tartaria did not exist, but there is this conspiracy that before us there was an ancient civilization that was so powerful and so technologically advanced, spiritually advanced, intelligently advanced, way more than us.
Okay.
And they are the people that built Atlantis. They built the pyramids, and that's why we can't comprehend how they built the pyramids now.
Because they're too smart.
They were too smart. And to make us seem like the smarter ones, we have covered up the fact that they ever existed. They were killed off, and we pretend like they don't exist. They didn't exist. But this feeds into how are the pyramids built? How do they, with no machines, put these giant things together, and at the speed in which they got, like, how did they do that? We couldn't build pyramids now. How could we build them then?
It sounds like we're going to have to take one for the team and just...
Build a pyramid?
No, get up under one and just go down.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
well,
I mean, who cares,
that's
really?
supposedly what this guy did. After they scanned it, like... Under each pyramid, there was like 8 columns spiraling down all the way the stairs.
When you say all the way, what do you mean all the way?
So let's say this is ground level. Pyramids are like here.
Yeah.
They go way further than anyone should be able to have gone down in that period of time.
That's awesome if that's true.
Go down the spiral things, and underneath is an ancient city.
Oh,
They're
sounds fucking cool.
Tubes of water with bodies in them, like preserved corpses.
What?
Alien corpses.
Okay. All right.
In these preserved little tubes of water.
You're losing me.
And there's a video.
What?
He went down.
Did a vlogger go down?
After they scanned, they went down and they explored.
Like a Jake Paul.
And I have seen everyone on TikTok talking about this, and then they don't show the video because they're taking down TikToks that have the video in it. All we can do is talk about it. Everything is different now. Like, our entire knowledge of everything has to change. Turns out, video, AI.
Yeah.
Somebody made a video, created this claim, and it is being spread on TikTok as if it's real. This is like the first... I've been tricked on like Twitter and stuff here and there.
This is like a massive misinformation.
But this is at scale. People think this is real.
Was the guy real with the spiral things? Was that real?
There's no actual evidence.
What the fuck, Jern? You got me all excited.
How could you wouldn't? I would not be excited. I'd be terrified.
I want to know. This sounds awesome.
The fact that it spread to that degree, to where, like, and I've seen the video. At first, does not look like AI.
Well, yeah.
There's a team of people down there exploring. Dude, it looks like a scene out of a movie. Like, it's completely dark, and there's like flashlights and lights on the cameras and stuff, and like of Egyptian columns with pharaohs carved in.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. The fact that a year and a half ago, AI video was making Will Smith eating spaghetti all mumbled and jumbled and terrible.
Mumbled and jumbled.
It did not look good at all. To now, at scale, people think there's an ancient city under the pyramids that if you walk all the way down, it took them a week to get down all the spirals, apparently.
It took them less than a week to render that video, I'm sure.
To go all the way down there. Like, that is insane.
Yeah.
I hate our current timeline. I hate it.
I mean, I'm excited about the spirals. That's really cool.
I don't know if that's real. I don't think that's real.
Well, what the fuck are you
There's
telling me?
no way.
Why are you parroting misinformation?
I'm not. I am telling you. I was telling you at first what I was told, what I saw on TikTok, until you look into it and you realize it's all fucked up.
You got to just get off TikTok. This sounds like an SCP.
I got 70. Yes, very much so. Like
Guys, if anybody out there is a big fan of the SCP wiki, if anybody knows what that is and like you're into that, let me know, because that's like my favorite type of shit to read in bed before sleepy time. I love those articles.
Why would you read anything not fun before bed?
I don't get scared.
This is why I don't sleep.
No.
Because I try to watch space stuff to just drift off to sleep. And then they're like, we just found this out yesterday. Big Bang is now slowing down, and now we crunch. What'd you say?
I said space is so boring. The Egyptian stuff under the pyramid, that's awesome. That's like on Earth. That's cool.
You don't care about anything else out of Earth?
There's a lot of my point.
Do you know how pretty the sunrise is on Pluto?
My point is that there's a lot of interesting stuff here that I'm more interested in than whatever's out there. Because
you got to see the sunrise on Pluto. It's beautiful.
It's probably AI generated, Jern.
Listen, sunrise on Pluto is done. Well, you obviously only see it from simulations, but
oh, really?
The sun is not close enough to light up Pluto, so it is just. It's like a bright moonlight. So it's nighttime, sun comes up as like a bright moon, and you can just kind of see, but there's no light pollution because there's no fucking people ruining it. And you can see nebula above you.
That's pretty cool.
And it's pretty. I want to go there.
No, you don't. It's not even a planet anymore.
It's probably so cold.
They just decided.
Dwarf planets are still planets. Who cares what they tell you? And do you think what they tell you in school is true?
This sounds like you're defending, like, being a little shorter. There's no
planets are planets too.
Okay, there's a certain subset of the audience who will be upset with us if we don't talk about some developments on SmackDown.
Okay, we're definitely going to need a wrestling podcast and a space podcast and.
Just real quick, again, 404-919-5530. Call us. Tell us anything at this point. I mean, what is this podcast? As WrestleMania season is upon us and WrestleMania draws closer, we finally know what the favor CM Punk asked from Paul Heyman was. If anybody's not into wrestling, you know, it's like the space stuff, feel free to skip
the next section.
Yeah. Punk is going to have Paul in his corner during their triple threat match with Seth Rollins.
Yeah. That's the favor.
Are you satisfied or are you...
No.
Yeah, you're wanting more?
The only way... You every time something happens that disappoints you, you kind of have to be like, trust in the plan. Because every time you get a little scared, they do figure it out, and they were thinking ahead.
Mm-hmm.
This is a little troublesome. This feels a lot like they didn't know what the favor was this whole time. And just decided at the last second that this is what it is. And unless there's a swerve or something that happens at Mania...
There's going to be something that happens. This is the same...
Either Paul turns on Roman...
Exactly. I think that's going to be it. We're going to see Roman...
Either way, I think more than anything, we now know that Seth is winning that match.
That would be really fun.
It'd be crazy if Punk turns on both of them and leaves with Seth.
Yeah. You mean Paul?
Paul. Like,
you
turns on
Punk.
both of them.
You said Punk turns on both of them and leaves with Seth. That ain't going to happen.
Paul, yeah.
This is really related to... scared the shit out of me. This is really related to something that I was experiencing with Severance Season 2. There's a really good Severance subreddit. It's called Severance Apple TV Plus. Mm-hmm. That's the one to go on for discussion. There's another one that's just Severance but misspelled that has a sizable following. Don't use that one. Those people can't read. I've heard they have pouches.
I have heard that too.
Anyway, I had to get off of that subreddit because every week between episodes, there was a million people like analyzing every frame from the previous episode or throughout the season or season 1 or whatever, or looking into background stuff or interviews or whatever. And they were coming up with crazy theories and just like, I think it's going to be this. Oh, all these signs point, there's 100 signs that point to this happening in the finale, no matter what. It's going to happen, guys. All this stuff. And it's just off-the-wall theory crafting, dream booking.
Just overthinking.
And this is the same thing. Like, in my opinion, I think there is a reason to go into this WrestleMania a little like apprehensive at the build that's happening, but I think we're going to be left with a fine and good and enjoyable event, a PLE. It's going to be good. I think it's going to be good. I think it's going to set up the next year of stuff really well. I'm looking forward to it. I think that we're going to get a lot of like, it's going to be a great time for John Cena's retirement stuff. I just think it's going to be good. The only thing I've been concerned about, honestly, like actual concern and like what the fuck are they doing, is their handling of the women's title. Like that whole match.
Which one?
I guess you're right. I just forgot about the stuff with Tiffany and Charlotte.
Oh yeah, that is that's a fucking train wreck.
Yeah, well, I'm more interested now.
I bet,
since they're shooting on each other. But
I don't know if they're going to be able to handle being in the ring.
Specifically, I'm still trying to remember like all the way they name all the titles is kind of confusing.
The women's heavyweight title and the women's WWE title.
Okay, so the women's heavyweight title is the one that Io has.
Yeah,
I'm worried about that one.
Okay.
About the way they're handling that match.
Okay.
Because it feels like thrown together, kind of. I don't know.
Rhea's definitely going to be in it, and somehow she's not yet. And it's just, everything feels...
That feels weird.
Everything feels a little weird.
Yeah. I'm also hoping, like, we have a men's United States Championship title match. Yeah. We got to have a women's.
Oh, yeah.
Come
for
on.
Chelsea.
Come on. There's going to be... I mean, we're not going to get Intercontinental. Oh, I guess... No, wait. Are we? At WrestleMania? Are there Intercontinental title matches?
Was Braun Breaker facing anyone?
You know, if it's not announced yet, they're probably gonna. It's Braun. He's a good draw.
Yeah.
I feel like.
There probably will be. LA Knight versus Jacob Fatu, but I think they already gambled once taking the belt off of LA Knight. They gave it to Shinsuke, and that didn't work out. So I think he retains at Mania. Obviously, Solo does something, probably on accident, to try to help Jacob and screws him, and then you have the fallout between them finally.
Probably going to lose it at Backlash.
Huh?
He's probably going to drop the title. LA Knight probably drop the title at Backlash.
Oh, I don't know. I think the goal is to have him retain. Like, I think Jacob Fatu versus LA Knight at WrestleMania. Solo does something.
Yeah.
That screws up that they have their fallout, and it's Jacob Fatu versus Solo at Backlash.
Oh, interesting. Well, I guess my brain, it makes total sense to give Jacob Fatu a title, and
oh yeah, he's not yet.
No, yeah, not a Mania for sure.
Yeah.
But like either Backlash or what's the next one? Bad Blood.
Sure.
Well, I thought
I don't actually know.
Oh, I thought it was like a set cycle every year.
I'm still learning, but I don't remember because they keep.
You don't remember.
Well, Bad Blood just came back this past year.
Oh, okay.
Like, it was gone.
Okay, yeah. I didn't know that.
Bad Blood existed when I was a kid, and it went away, and then they brought it back this year. So, I don't know.
Interesting.
Roman's going away.
Yeah.
So we heard after Mania, which is what he does every year. So, obviously something catastrophic is going to happen. And do you remember last year in the Hall of Fame, when Roman was inducting Paul, he said, the minute you don't see Paul Heyman is the minute you don't see the Tribal Chief?
Yeah, I do remember that.
That's troubling.
Man, I would love that type of like build, you know. Hall of Fame this year is going to be interesting.
Well, we have Roman was laid out again this week from GTS. He's not, dude. Roman's such a good seller sometimes.
All of the Bloodline are.
Yeah,
like somebody put a compilation together of people just getting fucked up.
Yeah, I mean, this is the last domino to fall for Roman, losing Paul. I'm not ready for that.
Yeah, but the story is far from over.
I know, but I'm not.
You're not ready for this chapter?
My problem with this right now is it doesn't feel like... It had felt, especially last year, that everything the year prior was intentional and was on purpose and helped build to Cody overcoming the odds and stuff.
Yeah.
All of that felt super intentional. And Roman losing Paul should definitely be in the story, but it doesn't feel like this was how it was planned. It just feels like it's just happening because they need something juicy right now.
It could be. I mean,
it doesn't feel like you would have sat down a year ago and wrote it to happen this way.
Isn't that one of the best and worst parts of wrestling as a storytelling medium? Is it so liquid and
No, it's like Kevin Owens.
Yeah, having to drop his.
Dude, that sucks.
Yeah, I again, assuming it's we can be as sure as we can be that it's not a work. But
I don't think it is. He went on a podcast the day after and
he
talked
did.
about it. He's I guess it wasn't the match with Cody.
No, I did hear that. It was two different things in January.
And
I
a
think he
regular
said.
match, yeah.
Yeah.
Career may be over, maybe not.
He's
really know.
He's gonna miss his 10-year anniversary. I'm pretty sure that's what people on
really
on Twitter deduced.
He hasn't been there for 10 years yet.
I didn't fact check this, but yeah, that's what people were saying.
Well, that's a good example because then Randy Orton doesn't have a match, and Randy Orton has to be at WrestleMania.
Yeah,
and they only in wrestling can the pivot be better than the original plan. If they
it's Randy
panic so well.
If it's Randy and Nick Aldis, then it's really
it happened
good.
last year.
What did?
All the Rock stuff.
Oh yeah.
And then the fans revolting and how they were able to pivot and it became way better because of that. They're so good at just going, nope, we're doing this now.
Yeah.
And I love Kevin, but Randy versus Nick Aldis is way better.
That'd be really freaking cool.
Yeah, it's way better.
Yeah.
And it's safe because Nick can lose.
Oh yeah.
Either way, it's sweet.
It's very cool.
Randy's not going to lose at WrestleMania.
But yeah, I'm excited. I think it's going to be great. And we also have Recycle Bin Mania planned for the Monday after WrestleMania.
Recycle Bin Mania.
Yeah. I couldn't think of a better name for it.
No, I mean, that's the only name we need.
Just like WWE, when they panic, it's good. Hopefully, this idea.
Basically the same.
This idea I came up with randomly on a Saturday.
Yeah, basically the same thing.
Yeah.
I'd imagine. It's cold.
A little bit. You're drinking cold soda.
I am.
All right. Now that we have hit all of our major marks.
Yep.
Meatloaf, Egypt, the Romans, everything. I think it's time for voicemails.
The Higgsfield.
Especially that. Again, 404-919-5530. Thing on the screen now. Call us, leave us voicemails.
Leave a question. This is where the rest of the show is yours.
We have 8 to do.
Holy fuck.
Oh, long
I would have
episode.
talked way less about space if I knew that. Oh my God.
I did tell you. You just forgot.
Also, someone commented. I almost want to know their exact name.
I know. I think no. Don't. We're not. I know what
and
you're going to say.
said that there needs to be editing. An hour and 45 minutes is ridiculous.
Oh.
Who the fuck do you think you are? That's how podcasts work. There's no editing, and they're long. If you don't want to do that, don't watch a podcast. We have a normal show that's 10 minutes long. You can go watch that.
Well, that's why we get the business out front.
If you want, this is a podcast that you can either sit down and every Monday go, wow, what a great Monday, and just watch the whole thing, or you can split it up throughout your week.
That's true.
You can watch at your own will, or not at all. Fucking say it needs edited. It's too long. That person's never seen a podcast. That had to be the first podcast I ever saw. That's the longest YouTube video known to man.
I didn't take personal offense to it, but yeah.
Tell me it's ridiculous. Fuck off.
Okay, 8 voicemails.
That's so many.
And this is fun. 4 of them are techie, Apple-y, and 4 are not.
Yeah.
So what are we doing first? Business in the front or party in the back?
Business in the front, of course.
All right, let's do it. Here we go.
Hey, Jern and Bern, this is Aiden from New York.
What's up, Aiden?
I have 3 things to say. The first one is I love my iPad mini. It's my secondary device. It's got the Apple Pencil with it. The second one is I think the iPhone 16 with iOS 18 is really buggy, but I've got the 15 Pro with iOS 18 running all the betas, and I have not really seen any bugs majorly, whereas my mother has the 16 Pro Max, and she's got a ton of bugs. And thirdly, Jern, you look just like Goblin. He's a YouTuber in the cannabis space. I think it's just fucking hilarious. You guys are very similar. You look very similar. You should check it out. Yeah. All right. Have a wonderful day.
There's only
Bye.
2 things.
That was 3 things. iPad Mini,
Oh, okay.
iOS 18. And you
Okay,
look like
who's Goblin? You
Okay,
gonna pull him up?
Hang on. We're going to address things in order a little bit. For one, Aiden actually sent me another voicemail.
No.
Hang on. I know.
Is Goblin who I think it is?
Yeah.
I do not look
hang
like
on.
fucking Goblin.
Hang on. Aiden sent another voicemail that he corrected a few things, but it was
That
longer.
better be one of them.
No, but it was longer, so I used this one. But I will reiterate. He mentioned, let's see. He mentioned that he has an iPad Pro. That's his main device that he does most of his work on. He mentioned that you look like Goblin, but when you had a lot more weight on you, specifically.
I was gonna say I do not look like fucking Goblin.
So he
dude.
did clarify a few things. Let's pull up Goblin.
Yeah, there's Goblin.
Here's Goblin. He's a weed YouTuber. I gotta be honest.
Magic
I
mushroom.
see it.
Stop it.
I
you
see
don't.
the-
You literally don't.
You guys could be related. I see the facial structure and the glasses choice.
No.
You used
stop
to
it.
have these exact glasses, I'm
I
pretty
do
sure.
not look like Goblin. Moving on. Dude, I don't. Look.
This guy's got a troubled channel. You guys look like you could be related. Yeah, there's something there.
I do not look like Goblin.
To be fair, it's like a lot of white guys with glasses tend to look similar.
Well, not me and Goblin.
Okay. Well, you can disagree all you'd like.
I do, actually.
Yeah.
What did he say? Oh, bugs? He said
Yeah.
there's less bugs on the betas? Isn't that...
He said that he thinks, and there might be something to this, that iPhone 16 running iOS 18 is getting more bugs than
Well,
the other
didn't he
iPhones.
say the other iPhones have the beta on it? And wouldn't that make sense? Because iOS 18's towards the end of its life cycle, so the beta should have less bugs than the version before.
You know what? That makes sense too. Either way.
Like, we're at the end of iOS 18 here. We're showing you iOS 19, so...
You're very smart. Good job.
Thank you. 19 comes after 18.
Hey, Jern and Bern, this is David from Michigan. This is actually my second voicemail. I kind of messed up the first one. But anyways, you guys talked about doing a month-long Android challenge. And personally, I would love to see it. Because I've owned every Samsung phone since the S10. I'm currently on an S25 Ultra. And I've had a couple of Pixel phones in between. And all of them have been like, honestly, great. So I'd love to see what you guys think if you decide to do it. Thanks. See you guys.
I didn't even know Android phones could make phone calls. How do you leave a voicemail?
Very funny. I think that's a great idea. I would love
It's a
for
terrible
us
idea.
to switch to some Pixels. I'm going to get on that after this episode.
What if we switch it and then we never come back?
That's really a bad sign for Apple, isn't it?
I guess
What are they
so.
going to do without us?
I don't think they like us right now anyway.
That's a good point. Maybe Tim will be like, finally, get out of here.
Well, we've done Pixel leaks too. So.
That's true. We're not safe anywhere.
No.
Samsung leaks. Jern, we don't have a
I
home.
know.
Where can we go?
I know we can't.
We can
Dude,
go. We can go Huawei.
Google leaks don't do as well, so no one really thinks about the timeline of events that happened there. But it was crazy for a second.
Oh, the Pixel Watch stuff.
Well, I leaked the Pixel Watch a year early.
Yeah.
The exact Pixel Watch a year early. Then, right after I leaked Pixel... No. What was it? I leaked Google Pixel Fold out of nowhere, and then the day after leaked Android 12.
Yeah.
The entirety of Android 12 right before Google I/O. And then after I leaked the Pixel Fold, I leaked the Pixel 6, Pixel Watch, Pixel Fold, and so for the Pixel 7, they just showed it.
Yeah, I remember that.
Like, they instead of waiting for anything to leak, they just showed it
They're
months
done.
early.
They were done with this.
They were like, okay, yeah, here it is. That's how much Google did not like us at that time.
So we got to go buy some phones or get them to send them to us.
Hey, Jern. Hey, Bern. It's Kieran again. So I was wondering where did you, I'm assuming you guys rendered the iOS 19 wallpapers yourselves. And if so, would you post those or at least to the Patreon? Because I really like them and they'd be really nice to have. Thanks, guys.
I think Asher posted them or something. I can't
Okay.
remember, but on Asher's Twitter.
You can retweet them or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's not the only voicemail asking for those wallpapers. By the
Really?
way, yeah, people really liked them.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Well, they haven't even seen the newest one.
Yeah, so I mean, we gotta keep it up. People love wallpapers, bro. We should start a paid app for them.
We should call it Flannels.
Flannels. That's
Yes.
good. Very clever.
Yeah.
Last business voicemail.
Yo, hey guys, it's Yash again.
Hey, Yash.
From,
Yash,
New York
what's up?
City. Just wanted to ask. So like everyone, there's been so much buzz about all these tariffs, right?
Oh, God.
And
Oh God.
No.
like Apple's stock has gone down, right?
Mm-hmm.
What do you guys think is going to happen? Do you think Apple eats the cost? I'm assuming no, but do you think like for the 17, do prices go up like significantly because of this, or do you think they stay at the same model? I know they're like moving a lot of stuff around, right, with the iPhone Air and all that, right? So I don't know. I just wanted to hear your guys' thoughts because you guys have been looking at this company and analyzing it for years. So I feel like you guys would know, or not would know, but okay, I'm gonna shut up.
Thanks, Yash. I thought about cutting him off before he goes, I'm going to shut up.
Oh.
But, yeah, so I thought this would be good to talk about because,
it's so touchy. I hate.
Regardless of anybody's feelings politically, this could really impact the price of iPhones in whatever direction, I don't think, Mac Rumors put up an article.
Yeah, I hate these articles.
No, I mean, they're very, speculative, but the basis is there is a chance that iPhone prices could hike due to tariffs, not just it being the time for iPhone prices to go up finally.
Yeah. Well, I mean, to make it as quick as possible.
Yeah.
iPhone will not come out until September. There's a big chance that a lot of this stuff is resolved by then. So it just depends
That's
on
true.
how long we play this game. If Tim Cook is going to know more than us.
Oh hell yeah.
So if Tim doesn't anticipate this being long term, I could see them trying to eat the cost at first because there's a fine line of if they ate the cost, would it cost them money? Yes. But if this is a more short-term thing, their long-term brand reputation would benefit from them eating the cost.
Exactly.
Because if someone looks at an iPhone and it's $2,300, there's a good chance they're not like, oh, Trump.
Right.
There's a good chance they're thinking like, oh, Apple.
Yeah.
Obviously, the point is to have manufacturing done in the U.S. Here's the thing. That's never, ever, 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 ever going to happen.
Not at the scale that would be worth this.
There is no
our
universe.
Industry. Yeah.
Bringing the manufacturing to the U.S. would also increase the prices so much, so dramatically. People do not understand how different we have things in the West.
Yeah.
Things are that way in China and in India where they started manufacturing iPhones. Things are that way because labor laws are entirely different.
Foxconn exists.
Yeah. The amount that you're paid is way different. The ages of the people that are working, way different.
Yeah.
Things work way differently. And to bring stuff here in the U.S., I'm not saying that anything is right or wrong. I'm just saying to bring things here in the U.S., it would be so dramatically different. The people that work here are way more entitled, believe way more in labor laws. They believe way more in unions. Things would not work the way you think they do to bring manufacturing here in the U.S. Would it be nice to say this iPhone was made in the United States of America? 100%, absolutely. Are you going to spend $2,500 on your iPhone to be able to say it was made here? Probably not. So your prices are going up either way with the tariffs, or if it's made here in the U.S., and it's not going to be made here in the U.S. TSMC itself, that makes the processors. It's not just where the iPhones are assembled. Each part is made overseas, and the price for each part will go up. To bring all of that in the U.S. it's not going to happen. It is not going to happen. It's not. I don't know. I mean, your thoughts from you?
No, you're right. I mean, and this is I never want recycle bin to have like political undertones. I just don't want. It's always such a messy discussion to have, and this isn't the place for it, and especially even in the comment section, you know. But like, okay, as an example, I agree with you completely. I know this is back in 2012. All right.
Okay.
But as an example, the New York Times did a analysis of Foxconn like assembly workers. Their wages ranged between $1. This is converted to U.S. dollars, by the way. $1.50 and $2.20 an hour for assembly. You know what I mean? Like
has America been taken advantage of? Yep. But that happens and can happen because other countries have different laws than we do. Things work differently. The fact that China is willing to pay workers $1.50 automatically puts them in a different spot. You are not going to convince anyone to make an iPhone in the U.S. for $1.50 an hour. You're not. It's not going to happen.
Yeah, here's a Yahoo Finance repost from the South Chinese Morning Post that Foxconn wages fall between $3 per hour in Shenzhen. That was from 2023.
And these are low-level line workers too. I'm sure there are supervisors and higher-level positions that do get paid more and live different lives. But in Foxconn, we just talked about this in a video in the documentary we made. Foxconn is not just a factory that you go work at 9 to 5. Mm-hmm. These people live there. They live there. It's entire cities there. Their apartment, it's in Foxconn. Mm-hmm. Their restaurants, their stores, they are in Foxconn. Those places had nets on the outside of them, not because it's a fun, great place to work.
Or to catch soccer balls that fell off the side.
Yeah, that's not what China and the way things work over there in terms of labor laws and stuff. It is significantly different, and they are willing to allow for more things than the U.S. would allow for.
Human rights are a little less important,
and that is why.
Yeah.
That is why the U.S. is being taken advantage of, but the only alternative is that the U.S. brings their own standards down and allows for things like that, and that is never, ever going to happen. Everyone loves to complain about this, and like, we should make stuff here in the U.S. We should force everyone to make stuff in the U.S. That's a great idea, and I agree. Mm-hmm. But you would just assume that everything is supposed to work like it does here in the West, and it doesn't. Yeah. It never will. We cannot force our way of living. That's half the problem with history. Is we're just trying to force our way of living on other cultures, and that's not how it works. It's not going to work here.
You're not even just talking about America, us.
No.
You're just that's kind of history as a whole.
Yeah.
So, to reiterate, Apple, depending on the tariff situation, if we see iPhones debut at their expected pricing, that could happen. Mm-hmm. It could also be a much darker timeline where they debut at much higher pricing. Mm-hmm. That signals probably a much worse situation.
Yeah.
Arguably. But we'll see.
It could all be resolved by then. Who knows? We'll see.
All right. That was... didn't expect... You had quite... I'm happy you had a lot of thoughts on that. I'm a little surprised.
Oh, just been seeing a lot of people complaining. And it's just like people are saying things like it's like the solutions are so easy.
Yeah. Nothing ever really is.
Oh, yeah. Right. The tariffs are great because it forces everyone to come in the U.S. Like, those people... That idea is great, but no one sits back to even think about what that would require or what that means.
Yeah.
No one.
That's fair. People don't give you enough credit, as they should. You're a very smart Jern.
Oh, thanks, Bern.
You're welcome. Okay, now we have fun voicemails.
Okay.
Dude, you're going to get whiplash from this shift.
I hope.
Jern and Bern, what animal makes this sound?
What animal do you think made that sound? I think it was a sheep.
Sounded like a cow.
It was like very like...
A goat?
Maybe. I think it's maybe apple sheep. I was thinking maybe it's thematic.
Why
there was no name.
Include that?
I just... You know.
Jern and Bern, what animal makes this sound? And he made it in the show.
We are a variety.
He just
show.
made a noise.
This is a show.
That's a voicemail.
This is a show driven by the community, and that's what the community
How many
wants.
days ago did he call in and leave that?
I don't remember.
How many days has he been waiting? Just been like, oh, I wonder if they're gonna. I wonder if they're gonna.
I could tell you. Hang on. Oh, let's see. That was from this Thursday, so a few days.
So 4 days when he will have waited, he's going to see the notification and go, ooh, ooh.
Yeah.
And congratulations, you made it.
Guys, 404-919-5530. Go ahead and leave us all your weird noises. Thank you.
Don't.
All right, here we go, Jern. This is for you.
Hi, Jern and Bern. This is Colin from Oregon calling
Colin.
back.
Colin is calling.
One question for you, Jern. What are your thoughts on Comets? I've been watching a lot of scary end-of-the-world movies, and Comets interest me.
Oh, Comets.
What are your thoughts? All right. Thanks for the show, guys. Bye.
Thank you, Colin.
What are my thoughts?
Are you scared of comets like you're scared of everything else? What's up? What you got? Any weird... Comets are actually built of decayed space orphans or something.
Yep. No. Mm-mm.
Nothing for comets? They could hit us.
I'm not scared of dying.
That's a great clip outside of any no context.
Like, if we were to get if we got hit by anything, it would alter Earth, but Earth is so small.
You're not worried about that?
I'm worried about the entire universe collapsing into a vacuum state of lowest form of energy, and there being actually nothing.
Well, you heard it here first, Colin. He ain't worried about
If
comets.
something fucking bucks us here on the Earth, and it gets a little cloudy and cold for a little bit,
that's okay with you?
That's only here.
You're
That's
ridiculous.
only here. It doesn't change our perception of quantum physics.
But it kind of fucks up the people who got hit by a comet.
There is a non-zero chance that physics itself collapse and swallow us all, and physics cease to exist, and there being nothing anywhere forever. And you think I give a fuck about a comet hitting Mexico?
You know, I'm just saying, there's more movies made about comets and asteroids than whatever the hell you're talking
small
about.
beings worried about only us. We're only worried about bringing manufacturing here to the U.S. Fuck how things are in China, I guess.
Oh, God. Thanks for that. Colin.
The comet is hitting us right now.
Colin, you're real close to being put on the bad side of the TV for that one.
I mean, are you worried?
About comets?
Yeah.
More so than whatever you're on about.
We can see those.
All right. Next voicemail.
Hi, Jern. Hi, Bern. It is Shiloh from Middle of Nowhere Farming Community in Washington.
Hey, Shiloh.
And I now have remembered Jern used to lick his toes, not lick, but chew his toenails, due to iOS being glitchy and just randomly playing old episodes of podcasts I have already listened to when it switches from earbuds to CarPlay. Also, when is the duck field going to grow some fucks for iOS? Because, oh my gosh, it's a hot mess. And sometimes they release an update and roaming just stops working, and I didn't have cell service for about 3 months, and then I updated and I had cell service. So,
we might not
love
hear
you guys. Love the direction of the show, and keep up the good work.
Thank
that
you,
was
Shiloh.
iOS related.
We might not hear. Yeah, but it's.
I what?
You
I
used
ate
to
my
You
toenails?
used to chew your toenails. You don't remember that? You talked about that.
Who? What?
You don't remember doing that?
When did I talk about that? What is he talking about?
You would freak
Shiloh, Silo, whoever.
His name is Shiloh. It's a very normal name.
I didn't know what he said.
He may not hear this podcast from being out in his field.
He might not.
I love that he referenced the fuck field.
Yeah, I do remember the fuck field. When did I ever talk about chewing my toenails?
Probably early Recycle Bin or FPT podcast. You're a weird guy.
I hope no one can find that.
I hope they can find it.
We did 100 and something episodes of an FPT podcast for years.
I remember you talking about it. We had different people on there too.
Yeah, I did. They're dead now.
Nope. No, they're not. So about the fuck field though, we actually, little inside baseball at the end of the show here. We have a video planned to come out, sort of a State of the Union on Apple.
I thought you were going to say something about the fuck field. I was like,
Well-
we did not discuss the fuck field.
Well, it's fuck. This is the fuck field.
We had a habit of making these inside jokes that required too much work to actually do them. So, like, it was funny at first, and we're like, yeah, then I'll fly to a fuck field.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, that's a hilarious idea. But then people start to expect to do it, and then it becomes such a chore to do it.
Like the Ascended?
Yeah.
This is really an Ascended.
There's compilations of me ascending.
You know what? Can we
We should pull up a compilation of ascensions.
No, not right now. But can we ascend you for
Into the fuck field?
Well, I mean, maybe not right now, but this is one of the biggest leaks you've ever accomplished. iOS 19 stuff.
Yeah, in June during Dub.
Yeah, so let's ascend.
I'll ascend.
That's a promise. Here. What date is
9th.
Okay.
No, I don't actually know.
Remind me
I don't
on
know.
June of one of the days to ascend Jern.
It's 5th through the 9th. 9th through the...
She figured it out. She got it on June 1st. So, all right.
It's happening June 9th through the 13th.
Great. I'll fix that eventually.
Second Monday of June.
Monday, you say?
Yeah.
When an episode goes out, or Recycle Bin goes out. Perfect.
So I should ascend here? Just ascend straight through the ceiling?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Last voicemail. And it's going to be a good one. You're going to be happy to hear it.
Okay.
Hey, Jern and Bern, it's Sylvan from California.
Hey, Sylvan.
Hey, so I wanted to hear your thoughts. Have you seen the new Mario Kart World? Like, what are your thoughts on it? It's the biggest update to Mario Kart we've had.
Heck yeah.
I mean,
he's our Mario Kart
we got
guy.
an open world Mario Kart before we actually got GTA 6. So I think that's pretty big news. Will you be getting the Nintendo Switch 2? And are you excited? That's all. Bye.
Thank you, Sylvan.
Yes to all of that. But speaking of tariffs, that's the first thing that was impacted in our lives.
Yeah. How dare. You know what? You mess with gamers.
Yeah. The Nintendo did their Nintendo Direct conference where they announced the Switch 2 and Mario Kart. The pre-orders were what, April 9th?
Yeah, and they got delayed.
They delayed the pre-orders.
We still don't know.
It's uncertain now.
Yeah.
If they can charge what they wanted to charge.
One thing we don't know is if so yes, we're very excited for Mario Kart World. I've already seen a lot of like breakdowns of features from Shortcat, especially. He's already done like a deep dive. Very cool. Super hype. Gonna get it. I'm have like the prices.
Does anyone have it early, like IGN or something?
There's early. Yeah, there's there's early gameplay.
Because I'm very worried about open world Mario Kart.
It looks good.
Okay.
I think you're gonna enjoy. But outside of the excitement, and yes, I'm picking up a Switch 2. The Switch is, so far, Nintendo consoles are one of none of the gaming consoles ever are good investments. But in terms of longevity, you can't ever really go wrong with Nintendo. Like, they support their shit forever.
And it's like, it's one of the only consoles where if you want, like, Sony doesn't have all their games specifically exclusive to PlayStation 5.
Exactly, yeah. Yeah, if you
want to play Nintendo games, that's the only place.
Right. So yeah, super hype. The prices are fucked up. I don't know how they think they could charge $80 for a fucking video game.
I get worried about that too, but then I remember that this Switch is a decade old, and it's like $80 for a game you're gonna play for a decade.
Yeah,
and it's countless nights of fun.
But also, Nintendo rarely ever drops prices for their games ever. Like, those games don't like go on sale. Really.
Yeah, it's just going to be $80 today, $80 10 years from now.
Exactly. So, like, I don't know. Something's up with that. Everybody's really mad about the pricing for Switch 2 games so far. Hopefully that gets fixed. But yeah, we're very hyped for Mario Kart World. I think it's going to be fucking awesome. And I'm just going to... This is kind of how I feel about Apple. I'm just going to deal with it. I mean, I want it. It sucks. It's overpriced, probably. I fucking want it. I'm fucking sheep-brained. I don't know.
$80, here I come.
Yeah. I've been playing a lot more Mario Kart.
How much
8
is the
Deluxe.
Switch, too?
$450, I think. But yeah.
That's not bad.
No, that's reasonable.
How much is a PS5?
I don't remember. Around there. More expensive, I think, is when it debuted. I think it was like $5. The PS3 debuted at like $600 or $700 back in the day.
Damn.
It was like one of the first commercial or like home available Blu-ray players.
Oh, yeah.
New tech. Yeah.
Oh, dude, that was such a weird point in time.
Oh, yeah.
Where Xbox and PlayStation, they wanted to be like home hubs.
Well, that was
Xbox more specifically.
That was PS4 and Xbox One era. I'm talking PS3, Xbox 360 era. Yeah, Xbox 360, still the greatest console of all time. Fight me.
There was some front page tech lore. Similar. I got a new thumbtack opportunity, like 2 this week.
Okay.
For
hanging a TV, mounting a TV.
And a similar lore aspect to front page tech is back in 2013, we were part of a network called Tiny Galaxy that was part of Full Screen that thought it was a good idea to let us give away a PlayStation 4 or an Xbox One.
Mm-hmm.
The audience got to choose.
Dude.
And you just had to like leave a comment about which one you wanted. And I think we mentioned it one time.
Yeah.
And for years, that followed us.
It did. That sucked.
For years.
Giveaways are so dumb.
They really are
for
so
everybody,
stupid.
for every angle of anything. They're just terrible engagement bait. They are, if they go poorly, they look bad on everybody involved.
Mm-hmm.
Don't do giveaways.
Yeah, the drama logistically with giveaways is never worth it. It's terrible. The people that used to be YouTube channels back in the day. That used to be like the way they had subscribers. Subscribe and I'll give away this, and then they'd end up with like 600,000 subscribers and get 200 views a video.
Yeah, just
because no one was actually watching.
Man, what a weird era.
Yeah, it was like, tell us if you want a PS4 or an Xbox One, and tell us why it's better than the other. So, dude, for years, just random comments about why the PlayStation 4 was better than an Xbox One, and just so bad.
It was. We've done it, I think. I think it's time to cut the cord.
What an episode.
On this little baby, send it out into the world.
Wow. Okay, well, assuming the vacuum of space doesn't come collapsing in on all of us within the next week, we will see you next week for Recycle Bin, or we'll hear you next week.
Absolutely. 404-919-5530. And also go to store.frontpagetech.com.
You know what's weird?
Oh, what? What's weird?
There's people who probably listen to the podcast who've never seen us. Like,
maybe.
We know, when I think about doing Recycle Bin, I see this room, I see the set, I see you.
Mm-hmm.
There's people that have no idea what we're looking at, or what we look like.
That's fair.
What the show looks like. They might think that we're in separate locations, like most podcasts where it's remote.
I wonder if anybody can hear that
I'm touching him right now. My hand's very cold.
Oh, why is it so cold? I wonder if people can hear that you're smaller than me.
I'm not. I'm normal size.
All right, guys. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.
Goodbye.